Welcome to Panama City, my latest destination here in the country of Panama, and the completion of my tour of Central America after almost 2 years. And it's a fine setting to kind of wrap up my Central America series here today. And I thought of no better or more obvious thing to check out here in the city than to head over to the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal, of course, is world famous and well known as the transitory point between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans here in Panama. And they have a whole tour located there, including a 3D IMAX movie, a look-off point to overlook some of the boats as they pass through, and a whole lot more. So I thought what I would do today is give you kind of a guide on if you are coming to Panama City and you don't want to hire a tour guide, you want to just go to the canal yourself. I'm going to show you how to do that today. So let's get started. It's almost surreal in some ways, I guess, to be in a city of this size and magnitude. You know, after traveling through various countries over the last, number of months. And then to kind of pull into Panama City yesterday on the bus was a wild experience, for sure. I came here directly from Boquete yesterday. Took the bus from Boquete to David at about 6:30 in the morning. Took that about an hour to get into David. And I had to wait about an hour for the first bus that I could catch to here in Panama City, which took about 8.5 hours in total. But it was a nice double-decker bus. Actually had the best seat in the house, sort of on the top level overlooking the front of the bus, which was really nice. So it was a pleasant ride, if just made for a long day. Ended up being about 11 hours from start to finish from when I left in Boquete to get to here in Panama City. So we're gonna head up to the Metro subway, pick up our Metro pass, which you need here for the buses and for use at the subway. You can just tap with your credit card or your phone if you're only using the Metro subway here. But if you're going to use the buses, which you will need to go to the Panama Canal, you'll need a rapid pass. So we're going to go take care of that first and then get on our way. So we're just down here in front of the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church, or Iglesia de Carmen, here in Panama City. And this is our first stop to heading over to the Panama Canal. The metro station here, Iglesia de Carmen, has 2 entry points here on each side of the street. So we'll go down there first, buy our Rappi Pass, and then get on the subway. And it's nice and air conditioned in here too. So there's 2 different cards you can actually get here in the city. One's called Rappi Pass, and the other one is called Sistema Integrado. They're basically the same thing. This one actually gets you into, if you're at Albrook bus station and you're taking some of the, cross-country or international buses, you actually need this card, not the Rappi Pass, to get into that area. But for the buses and for the subway and everything, the 2 cards are interchangeable. And I just came here, I just went to the counter over there, and you pick up one of these cards. They're $2 to buy the card, which does not include any credit. So you basically take this card and come over to here, put the card in, and recharge it. You want to click on recharge with money. Put your card in, insert your coin. No receipt, and that should be it. So now I've put the 1 Balboa, which is $1 onto this card. So once you've recharged this card, each trip is, I believe, 25 cents. So you should be able to take this and then travel, you know, 1 subway and 1 bus out to the Panama Canal, and then 1 subway and 1 bus back into the city, and that should cover your costs for the day. So let's go give this a try. So it actually flashed 35 cents for the subway ride. So 35 cents down and 65 to go. Let's head down to the subway. So wherever you are in the city, you want to head to Albrook Terminal. And the signs are pretty easy to follow. There's a Via Zaita, which is to the right, and Albrook is actually over to the left. So we can just go over there and head down to the train line. So it's a little dark, but there's actually 2 lines here in Panama City. There's line 1, which is this red line, which is the one we're on, Iglesia de Carmen. We're heading down to Albrook to catch the bus. And then if you go up this way, up to San Miguelito, there's actually a 2nd line. And this actually takes you out to the airport. And they've got an extension that takes you right over to where you need to go. So don't ever feel like, you know, unless you're carrying a lot of luggage or whatever, you know, you can use the subway here very easily to get to and from the airport here in Panama City. So we've arrived here at Albrook Station, which is where my bus came into yesterday as well. So from here you have to find one of 2 buses. There's the C970 and the C810, both of which go to the Panama Canal from here at Albrook. We are going to figure out where that is. I assume it's probably outside at one of the stops, probably very well marked as everything appears to be here, and we will be on our way. I'm here at a time as well where they're actually working on a new line number 3 that will connect here at Albrook Station and head out to the west of the city. I don't know exactly when it's going to be finished, but they're doing it in 2 sort of stages. And you know, 500,000 people live in West Panama. It takes about 37 minutes to go from one end of this new line to the other, from Albrook to Ciudad del Futuro. About 25 kilometers long and 26 trains. So it'll be a pretty cool extension once this is done. It really kind of shows you how fast Panama City is growing. You know, they initially started with just 1 line here not that long ago, and then added a 2nd line, and then added the extension to the airport, and now they're extending it out to line number 3 from here in Albrook as well. Just heading up to the top here to get up to the bus station. You can actually see here they're doing the work on line number 3. This will sort of be its starting point over here at Albrook, and it'll be coming sort of behind me over that way to the west of the city. Across the street, across the main highway here, this is the main bus terminal where you catch all the buses for other points in the city and beyond also. So you just got to walk over here and we'll be on our way. So when you get here, it can be a little confusing. What you want to do is just kind of find one of the guys with the orange vests on. They can help you kind of direct you to where you need to go and stuff. And I'm just standing here between station C and D, and this is where the bus will come for Miraflores, is what you want to ask for, not just Panama Canal, because Panama Canal is obviously very long. But if you're going to the Miraflores Tourist Center, you want to ask where the bus to Miraflores is. And this is where it's going to be. So it should be every 10 to 15 minutes, so we shouldn't have to wait very long here at all for the next one to come by. And there's our 810 bus that will take us out to Miraflores. So that was super simple here on the bus. It drops you off right here at the visitor center. And when you're ready to go back into the city, you can just come right back to the same place and look for the 810. It'll either say Albrook or Miraflores on the front. So from here, you just have to head inside to pick up your tickets. And depending on the schedule, it'll depend on whether I want to go see the movie first or go to the viewing decks first. but we'll decide that once we get inside. So once you come in, you go to the counter, you can pick up your tickets there. $17.22 US is the full price, and that basically gets you 2 tickets. That gets you a ticket for the IMAX showing and gets you a ticket for the viewing center. So it's basically 2 tickets in one. And they basically said that from there, you're good to go. There are 8 scheduled showings of the movie each day. I'll put the schedule here on the screen for you. It's about 40 minutes long, I believe. And then you're good to go after that. So, got my tickets. Let's head upstairs and start having a look around. So when you first come up the stairs or up the escalator, I guess you can kind of get ushered into this gift shop, which we'll have a look at later. The next showing of the movie is actually at 12:15, and it's a quarter to 12 now, so that's pretty good timing. I'm just going to go up here and hang out for a little bit. It looks like a movie theater up here when you come in because it is an IMAX theater, so you can get all your usual movie snacks if you want, those types of things. Just up here at the top of the escalator. So just waiting in line now for the movie. It starts in about 15 minutes. Got my 3D IMAX glasses and I'm good to go. Won't be able to film any of the movie itself, obviously, for a variety of reasons. I'd like to keep my channel from getting it permanently banned for copyright. So I'll give you my impressions after I get back out. So the documentary movie was all right. Lots of good history about it. Interesting about the failed attempt by the French to build a canal through before the American one was finally built. And a wealth of information. Talked about how the first passing through the canal was in 1914 on the same day that World War I was declared. So it was sort of missed as a celebratory moment for that reason. It also then talked about how, as the ships have grown larger, they needed to expand the canal, and they've made a second channel now for the much larger ships that come through. It opened in 2016 after about 9 years of work and cost around $5 billion to build. Super interesting, really cool video. Always nice to listen to Morgan Freeman talk because he's got such a great voice for narration. And anyway, really interesting. So we're gonna head up to the other ticket I have here is for the visitor center / viewing area where you can watch some of the ships go through. I'm gonna try and get some time-lapse photography here with my camera of one of the boats going through the canal here in Panama. So I'm just up here on the observation deck in front of the Panama Canal, and there's currently no boats. I've looked both that way and down the other side and don't see anything at the moment. I do see a much larger ship off in the distance passing through the other new lock that's over there, but nothing here at the moment.
Moments later.
Well, it's not quite a big ship, but it is a couple of catamarans going through at the same time. What I do see interesting off in the distance, however, is a much bigger ship coming. I'm guessing once these guys are done. Let's take a walk over here and watch the lock in action.
At this time, we have the small placer boat that already entered the upper lock chamber. We're just waiting for the cargo vessel to enter, and that way we can do the operation.
So we're actually going to get 3 boats for the price of 1. So you get those 2 catamarans that are there, and then this large cargo ship is going to move in behind them, and they're actually going to transit all 3 of them at the same time. that the water has been equalized and dropped in that first chamber, which was really cool to watch, by the way. It's fascinating to see just how much they're moving at once. So now I'm just going to take a walk down here and show you the other half in real time as they move the gates.
There it is. Yes, so the visitors, the vessel moving, heading to the lower chamber. When the ship is inside of the lower chamber, we proceed to close the gates behind. And then we start the third lowering process, heading to the Pacific side. This vessel is one step away from the sea level. Considering the elevation of the ocean is exactly the same as sea level, it's sea level. No matter if you're here on the Pacific or on the Atlantic side, sea level, it's sea level, dear visitors. You can observe the ship, it's using a couple locomotive, using a couple mules, a couple assistants on either side. Those mules are keeping the ship steady. In the middle of the chambers, this is a vessel with 28 meters or 92 feet. It's a very good size, but not the maximum weight capacity. The wider ship can take, can have 32 meters.
So that is the Panama Canal. A really cool experience to come here and actually see it in person. You know, you always kind of hear about it in the news and the history of it and everything else, but it's really interesting to watch just how fast that boat came down. Even in real time, it was pretty quick by all things considered. I did a quick time lapse of the boat entering and going into the water, and then kind of showing you some real-time footage there afterwards of it leaving and moving into the second stage to get to the other side. So really cool, really easy to get out here. As you saw, you know, like I took the bus to here, taking the subway. You can certainly get an Uber to here, probably be maybe $5 from anywhere in the city. And would certainly save you some time if you want to do it that way. I like using the buses and stuff. It's just, you know, cheaper first of all, but it's also kind of a better way to see around the city a little bit. So from here, I'm going to head back and hope you enjoyed this tour of the Panama Canal today and how to get here on your own. You know, no need for a tour guide or anything like that. And that'll do it from here at the Panama Canal. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, leave a like or a comment down below to let me know that you were here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button down there. I really appreciate that. You know, I always really enjoy seeing new subscribers pop up on my channel. I've met a few people actually recently in this area, both here in Costa Rica, that were actually subscribers to the channel. So that was kind of a neat moment also. If you'd like to support me further, there are a couple different ways you can do that. No pressure to do so, but the information is here on the screen if you would like to help me out. And as always, life is short, wander. And I'll see you in the next video.